why you should create. What does it mean to create? Creating is realizing something that has been imagined. That's at least my definition. It's having an imagination for something in your head, something that you have been thinking about, something that you've been imagining. Maybe you can imagine a video you're going to make, a song you're going to make, you've heard it in your head. And what is creation? It's simply just realizing it. So you take it, you act, and you bring it to life. So you make that song, you make that video, you write that script, whatever. I think we can divide ourselves into two general groups, consumers and creators. We can all fit into both, but can organize ourselves into one based on actions. I think the consumer is a person who is content. Am I wrong? Avoiding effort that needs to be made to realize our artistic imagination is what choosing to consume really means. So being a consumer means instead of fitting into the category of being a creator, you now stop yourself from being a creator, from being a producer. You are content with life. You allow yourself to simply, obviously you still produce, you still create, but the things, the imagination, the unique things you have in you, you are content with what you have now, and you frankly are lazy and you don't put it out there. So I think being a consumer is much deeper than just always taking. It is more about being content and simply satisfied with where you are in life. Even if you may not be happy about it, you are still content, and you do not, I would say, make a difference. We cannot simply consume without avoiding our urge to create. During our daily 24 hours, you come up with a lot of cool stuff. Some would be realizations of knowledge that can be spread. Some could create artistic and beautiful things. Whatever it is, we all have a hidden, suppressed urge to create. We all have 24 hours in our day. We're constantly thinking about things, whether we know it or not. There's always ideas that pop into our head during the day. And if we had a button that we could press to magically create it and realize it, that'd be an amazing button. But we don't have that. And we actually have to go through an effort and put an effort to create or to realize our imagination. So I think that's what creating really is. It's realizing some amazing imagination of something that you've had. I believe creating results in the biggest net positive an individual can make in the world. Most people are quite smart and unique. The next Interstellar movie probably exists in a few people's heads. The next Lacrimosa probably does too. The next Graduation by Kanye definitely exists. So does the next Yeet song. So does the next Elon Musk's spaceships. So does the next Mercedes or BMW. These things exist in people's heads. They unfortunately just aren't realized. And I understand it's not that easy to just snap your fingers and realize it. But when you're a consumer, you're content with not producing your imagination. So it doesn't mean you don't have imagination. It just means you're okay with not creating it, with not realizing it. There's a big difference. It's not like the consumer doesn't have an imagination, doesn't have great thoughts, isn't smart. It's the main idea, the main thing is that they have that, but they're okay with not creating. They're okay with just, I'll leave it. It's okay. I guarantee you, there are those with great and even not so great ideas that, if expressed, could bring us something as big as the invention of the light bulb or automobile. So things that could greatly impact the world were once imaginations. Everyone knows this, obviously, but we don't think about it. Like the light bulb, electricity, all these things, they were just in someone's imagination. They did not exist. They were tried and they were created, and they've created a crazy difference in our world. So creating really is important. It really is important. Don't suppress the urge. You want to create, so do it. Literally, for the fun of creating. I've spoken to so many people about their interests, and I'd say about half of them have actually interesting creative ideas. The skill, and that's a lot. Half of people's ideas being creative and things that could be realized that would be good is a lot. It's not like 10% of people's ideas are maybe like good. Like I'd say there when people express to me their ideas, I'd say at the like about half of them are actually cool, like good. Like they should be tried at the very least. They might not be amazing, but they should be tried, you know? The skill of creating things from your imagination is one that can be developed. Thomas Edison or Nikola Tesla in reality didn't make the light bulb off of a first try, and neither was Tom Ford. Yeah, I think, was it Tom Ford? Henry Ford. Oh my god. Henry Ford didn't create the automobile on the first try. It was something that took many tries, but it was developed. The creation, the skill to create something that's in your imagination was developed. It doesn't happen on the first go. It never does, but it needs to be practiced. It needs to be worked on. But the result that'll be accomplished at the end is so great. It's so worth the effort. Your first attempt of writing, drawing, writing music, etc. will not be perfect. This now is my first ever video script, but I don't care if it may be garbage. I'm saying this to you right now. Parts of it I'm reading off the script, parts of it I'm making up. Like right now I'm going improv. It's okay that it's trash. This is something that you need to practice, something that you need to do, something you need to be okay with. You need to be okay with the failure. If you ever want to be good at something, people hear this, but they don't understand. People hear, but they don't understand. People read, but they don't understand. People watch, they don't understand. Understand this. You have to suck before you're good. You have to. When I played soccer, I was not an amazing soccer player right away, but I still played rep later on. I got better. It's the same thing with lifting weights, or the same thing with reading or math, science. You have to suck at the start. People are too afraid of sucking at the start, I think. You need to accept that if you want to become great at something, in an outstanding number of skills, abilities, hobbies, or habits, you need to be ready to suck. Then realize that you will always get better as the time passes. This is crucial for you to understand. If you look at the option of continuing to be a consumer, content but unhappy with life, someone who never goes the extra mile, or a creator who uses even the shortest pockets of time and tiniest seeds of imagination to realize his or her wonderful imagination, the risk of not being a creator greatly outweighs the risk of being one. What's the worst that can happen if you're a creator? Someone says your stuff sucks? Whoa. You get no likes? Whoa. Maybe no recognition? No way. Do it for yourself. And all those factors and fears evaporate. No one will beat you up or threaten your family because you drew a bad painting or your beat sucks and you're a shitty producer. There's nothing to lose, yet everything to gain. When it comes to things that you have a passion for in life, always do it for yourself, never for someone else's approval. Create for the sake of showing the world what amazing things you have thought up. If it's not the world that should see your creativity, please give yourself the gift of seeing your own creation. Even if it's not the world, you should be able to see the amazing creation, the amazing inventions that you are capable of, just for yourself, not for anyone else. Are you a creative person? What was the last thing you created? Do you believe more people should create? Do you have a fear of creating? All these questions are important. I think, and this is off script, this is me just talking at the end of this video, I think creating is something that everyone truly, in some way, whether it's scientific, technological, artistic, literary, like whatever place or area you want to create, and people want to create, they want to realize their imaginations, because you as a person, you know, your imagination and your thoughts and your ideas may not be perfect, but you want to see them in real life. Have you ever, as a kid, had an invention idea? How cool would it be to just see it in real life? Obviously, as an adult or someone who's older, teenager, whatever, you're not gonna have a magic button which is gonna create an invention or a thought. And creating isn't just easy, it's not the snap of a finger. But it's effort that you put in, you develop the skill, you get better at it. And the satisfaction of having created something and being able to see it, watch it, listen to it, read it, is something more satisfactory than possible.